Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Curated Nest podcast. Today I am talking to the lovely Aoife Forbes, a professional gift wrapper, about how she built her business and what she loves about her home. And little heads up, we're going to be talking about the Loo, but it's absolutely fabulous. You're going to love it. So get yourself comfy and enjoy the chat. Hello and welcome to the Curated Nest podcast. Today we have got Aoife Forbes with us. Aoife was born in Dublin and has lived in the Northeast for over 20 years. She studied history of art in university and worked in PR for 25 years until she launched her own business last year. Aoife decided to lean into her passion for creativity and creating and become a professional gift wrapper. Her dream is to one day have a customised ice cream van and be a mobile gift wrapper. In just 1 year, Aoife has launched a number of themed corporate workshops, worked with many private clients, and has been shortlisted as a regional startup of the year. How fabulous. Welcome, Aoife.
Thanks. Hi, Heather.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm very well. I'm looking forward to this. It's one of my favorite subjects to talk about, so I'm very happy. I'm in my comfort zone here, that's for sure.
Fabulous. Well, do you want to start by telling us a little bit more about yourself?
Well, as I say, I worked in PR for over 25 years in a mixture of roles in-house and in agencies. And I think about 18 months ago, I realized it just wasn't for me anymore. I was spending a lot of time on my laptop and not as much out and about doing things, which is the old school PR way, which I used to love. Um, and I just decided to stop for a while, have a think about what to do next. All I knew was I wanted to do something with my hands. I just couldn't work out what. I was thinking of being a stylist maybe, or an interior designer. I thought about being a joiner for about half an hour, and then I remembered I'm not very strong or anything. I just knew I needed to work with my hands. I didn't know why. Um, and then I just kind of thought of, okay, what can you do? What skills do you have? And rather than trying to learn new skills. And I just love gift wrapping. It's as simple as that. I absolutely love it. And I was talking to a friend at lunch and she said, "Oh, what's your dream job?" And I said, "My dream job would be to have an ice cream van and to make it gorgeous and just drive around wrapping people's presents." Kind of mostly in a joke, really. But it just started something in my head. I just started thinking about it. And then I did a professional gift wrapping course for a day, just as something to do just for me, as a kind of a treat for me kind of thing. And I came away thinking, I absolutely love that. I just love every single part of it. And I kind of began matching the skills I have from PR and marketing and sales with a little bit of business knowledge. And then working out that really doing my own thing, would be for me. Lots of aspects of it I really like. I like the freedom, and I like being able to decide what to do. And then I realized there's a huge gap in the market in the Northeast for this kind of thing. There's other gift wrappers around the country, but there's apart from Barnet Castle, there's nobody in the Northeast, this side of the Northeast doing it. So I thought, okay, gap in the market. I've got the skills. I'll give it a go and see what happens. And that's a year ago now.
It's amazing, isn't it? I think how long ago is it since we met? Is it maybe 6 months or
Yeah.
something? And even in that amount of time, just seeing how your business has sort of moved and grown, and yeah, it's been really fabulous to watch. And I absolutely adore your whole style with the gift wrapping and the way you personalize it all, and it's fun. Um, it's a really yeah. I've used lots of your little tips from when
Thank you.
you came to my studio. I'm still using those tips with the
Oh,
ribbons and
well,
doing
thank
all the pleat folds. So people really do need to look you up and get some inspiration, because I feel like gift wrapping is kind of a Marmite thing. You either really love that process, or it's just like an annoying thing you have to do in order to give someone a gift. I
Yeah.
don't feel like there's an awful lot of middle ground, but
No, there's
you
not really. No.
you give a lot of inspiration to make it a more enjoyable process.
Yeah, and as I've gone along, I've realized there's so many different avenues or kind of niches for it, like sustainable gift wrapping. So using Beano comics or old wallpaper samples, or even art prints to wrap something, rather than going to the shops and buying new paper wrapped in plastic every time, or putting it in a gift bag. What could you have in your house? Father's Day is a really good example. On Father's Day, we used brown paper, and the kids wrote dad jokes all over the presents. So you're kind of showing the next generation not to buy new. Look at what you have, use what you have, which is a skill that all of us need to do, really, isn't it? And make
Yeah,
it so personal. It was really, really personal to us and my husband, and it's just good fun. So it's a mixture of all these things, like you say. I don't know if my wrapping's completely perfect. I think a judge might be able to find some kind of problems with it, but to to me, it's very pretty, and I kind of go for pretty over perfect. And I think
yeah,
that's really, it's just fun, enjoyable, and it's really relaxing. I think lots of people have found that actually once they start in workshops, certainly the chat is over quite quickly, and people's shoulders drop, and you can see them really becoming totally absorbed in what they're doing, and they make something lovely, and they kind of stand back and go, oh, right, back in the real
yeah.
world now. Yeah, it's very mindful, and I'm realizing that too with the workshops I've been doing.
That's one thing I love about running workshops as well, is just seeing people go into that almost zen zone, isn't
Yeah,
it? Of like doing something creative, especially if they don't ordinarily find that kind of time in their lives.
yeah, I agree.
Um, yeah, it's really fabulous. Wonderful. Right, let's get into talking about houses then. And we're
Okay.
starting with a big question. A couple of people have taken big inhales when I've asked them this one, but what is your favourite thing about your home?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I probably, rather than picking out particular things, I think it's probably the individuality of our house.
Mm.
Um, People walk in and our hall is similar to other halls maybe, but once you go through it, you kind of realize there's some quirks. Our door is pink, which I always think is a good start. And
Yeah.
there's a million pictures. Well, obviously, our house would be like a colander if you took all the pictures down. There's a lot of pictures. There's a photo wall in our hall, which is a bit of a family tradition. So we've got loads and loads of pictures of friends and family in our hall, kind of going up the stairs. Every wall, there isn't a blank wall in the house. Um, and yeah, I think it's just everyone who comes in kind of goes, oh, right. Oh, wow. And it's probably too busy for most people, maybe. It's certainly not minimalist, that's for sure. But I think it's, yeah, individual and full of character, I think is how I'd say it.
Don't you think that's what's wonderful about having your own home, though? It's the fact that it is totally unique to you, and you can add all of those little quirky things that are you and create your own traditions, and
Yeah.
the building itself becomes part of that.
Yeah, definitely. A bit like having your own business, I suppose. You've got the freedom to try things. If it doesn't work, rub it out, start again, paint over it, whatever, and give
Yeah.
things a go. And I grew up in a house that was very beautiful, but we weren't allowed to sit on particular things or touch particular things. So I really wanted our house to be something that, if you spill something, it doesn't matter. If break something, it's not the end of the world. We've got a couple of, gorgeous things that are definitely, not for playing with. But apart from that, I didn't want, we wanted something just really comfortable, homely, cozy, and fun and relaxed.
Yeah, you don't want to be on edge worrying that something's going to break every 5 minutes, especially when you've got kids as well. It's just, it's unrealistic, isn't it, to think that you're going
Yeah,
to have a child and nothing is ever going to get damaged. I mean,
yeah,
I'm quite clumsy anyway. I break things myself, never mind a miniature version of me.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. And we have lots of people in and out, and yeah, we just wanted it to be cozy and homely.
Do you think there's anything specific that's turned your house into a home? I guess when you first moved in, was there anything that you did and you thought, actually, now this feels like home?
Well, my husband and I are both quite sentimental, so we both got things from either our childhood home or pictures that really, are really, something that we're very fond of, or my husband's got his record collection. So I suppose putting our own stamp on it that way. Um, Having things from the house I grew up in Ireland, like lights and tables and fixtures and stuff, pictures especially, has definitely made it feel more me. Um, and yeah, I think probably lots of sentimental things. And then we've bought things together, like all we've got a picture wall here. I don't know if you can see it there. But so we've got lots of
Ah,
pictures in our sitting room, and they've all got a story. There's always something behind it. My sister's friend made this one here. My mum gave me this one here. I gave this to my husband recently. And every picture has a story from a travel or a holiday or a gig or even just postcards from friends we've framed. So they've all got a story, which I think I love.
yeah, that's really beautiful. I think story is so important when you're creating a home, and
Yeah.
that's where the nostalgia is, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And we change things around. It's nothing set in stone. We've changed this room over quite a few times. It has always had the same kind of vibe of lots of pictures and records and magazines. A lot of magazines. I've got all my Vogue magazines from when I was a teenager, so pretty much all the 90s Vogues. I
Oh
have
wow.
in this room, which I shipped from Ireland to England. There's no way I was not going to see them again. So we've got a lot of, yeah, nostalgic stuff that we want to keep. So it's definitely, yeah, there's no clean edges. There's no, yeah, clean surfaces.
So, would you say you and your husband are both very much collectors then? You sort
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Yeah. But with just a couple of things, luckily. Um, we try and keep it a few different
of.
subjects. But pictures and magazines and records, there's a lot of in this house, definitely. And ribbon.
I,
Ribbon and paper.
yes,
Yeah.
well, you can't go without the ribbon, but I guess that's what defines you. That's the difference between being a collector and a hoarder, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a selection of things that we collect. We don't just keep everything.
that's true. I mean, we do try and edit as much as we can, but that's hard. But that's okay, I'd rather have stuff in a house than just sit in a blank room.
Yeah, oh no, that would drive me insane. I can't. Magnolia and white I can't do. And I know that for some people that creates a calm
Yeah.
atmosphere for them. But that's what makes the sort of individuality of it,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I
It is
think
what
so.
works for you.
But I do need a tidy kitchen table. And things are tidy and in their place. I do
Yeah.
feel a bit frazzled when the house is messy. I like having a bit of structure.
Yeah, I am so with you. And there is something definitely about the kitchen. I don't know whether it's like it's the heart of the house or something, but if the kitchen's messy, I feel really frazzled.
Yeah.
But once the kitchen is tidy, it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be like mega, mega spotless clean. It just has to be organized. My brain feels calmer again.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
feel the same. My head's like whatever the kitchen table's like right now. Yeah.
It's a visual representation of your brain.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. Fabulous. We should do Instagram updates. This is what my brain looks like today.
No, maybe.
Possibly that. Probably good that people don't see that. Um, so obviously you said you collect a lot of art and things like that. Do you have a favorite piece of art or a favorite accessory or item in your home that's got a really
Um,
special meaning
I've
for
l-
you?
yeah, I've loads of favorite things, loads of sentimental things, not valuable things. Just looking around here, not valuable, but my dad was a painter, so the paintings he created would be my favorites. I suppose those and photos are what I take in a fire. So I'm very lucky to have three or four paintings that he did. I'll try and show you one. There's one over in the corner there of a girl. Ooh, don't know if you can see a girl with the black bow.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a copy of a Russian painting, actually. Um, so yeah, they're definitely very sentimental. So my dad died nearly 20 years ago, actually. So anything he did is very valuable to me.
Yeah. I'm sentimental in a very similar way. I'll show you something I don't know if you'll be able to see it because of the light, but
Uh-huh.
um this is a watercolor that stays in front of my desk. So when I'm doing my admin, I've always got a little bit of my Gramps with me.
Uh-huh.
He was a Whitley Bay boy, so I
Hmm.
kind of feel in a small way that I've come home and coming back to the northeast. Because for most of my life we lived in the northwest.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's really lovely when somebody's gone, but they've left something like that behind them. It's like it's got a little bit of their soul attached to it, isn't it? Because when you create something, as you'll know, you put a lot of yourself into it, don't
Yeah, I
you?
agree with you. And I think when I'm making things, it definitely makes me feel closer to him. Sounds a bit, but it does. It makes me feel, we're kind of in the uh, same room, but the same space, I guess. And I think that's one thing when I was working out what to do next after I decided to leave corporate working, I suppose, was making things, and I was definitely influenced by him and what he did, and having all his things around the house definitely helps my imagination and my creativity for sure.
Mm, definitely. It's like you can't help but feed off of other people's imagination when you're surrounded by those really personal and original. There's something really um, alive about something that's been made by hand
Yeah.
that you just don't get from a replica.
Yeah, and I think because those paintings were in our my house growing up, um, I feel a connection to that because the house I grew up in was lovely, and Ireland, and my other home, um, so yeah, there's loads of yeah, I agree with you, loads of reasons why it's great to have them around.
Mm. So, do you have a favourite room? Is
It's
there a room
probably
in your house, or it could be
yeah.
a room from your home in Ireland? It could be anywhere, but do you have a favourite room?
Probably our sitting room and the equivalent of it when I was growing up in Ireland, the room we had, we our sitting room growing up. They're not dissimilar. My family will definitely see the connection, and having lots of pictures is certainly one of it. So this is really all our favorite color, everything's blue. Most things are blue. Blue with a kind of splash of color, and we've got striped blue and white stripy wallpaper because I love the kind of that Hamptons that kind of American style of design. Um, and I find it really uplifting and relaxing in here. And it's really cozy. Watch movies, watch TV together. I loved watching TV with my kids when they were little. I just like love doing things like that together, cuddled up. A nice comfy sofa. And the fire in the winter. So we have a gas fire, which isn't very PC, is it? But a gas fire that's gorgeous. And we had a real log fire in my house in Ireland. So I suppose that's another similar, um, a common thing. But it's so cozy in the winter, putting the fire on and watching TV. It's just lovely.
Yeah, I'm very much I like the in-betweeny seasons. So spring always seems like a really hopeful time for me, but autumn, I love when it arrives and you just feel like you can go almost into hibernation. It's
Yeah.
that, yes, it's cold, it's blanket season. Not that I necessarily save my blankets, just they're out all the time. Um, but yeah, that cuddly coziness, there's something really comforting about it, isn't there?
Yeah, I agree.
I want to know more about your. This is going to sound really weird. I want to know more about your loo, please, because
It is a
because
very unusual loo,
you
yeah.
sent me a photograph and it looks fabulous. So
And
talk to us a little bit about that.
I'm just realizing that the house I grew up in was really unusual as well. I hadn't made that connection actually, but the loo we have now, is full of wallpaper that I saw somewhere. I can't remember, but I found it, and it's just all blank frames, picture frames. And I suppose people might stick photos on them or just leave it blank. I find it very hard to leave things blank. Um, so I thought it'd be a good idea to have portraits. So anybody who goes to the loo is invited to draw their portrait on the wall. So anyone tall, I get them to do a pie. And it's amazing, like all the little kids will do the huge big ones and go, "This is me," and the older people get the smaller. and more, oh, kind of self-conscious their pictures get, which is interesting. It's also interesting when you have friends over when they have had a few drinks and what they draw. Which I hadn't thought of until we had a party here. But that's cool. That's fun as well.
Yeah, it's part of the memory, I guess, isn't
Yeah,
it? Or
exactly.
lack thereof, perhaps,
Yeah,
if the wine has been flowing.
exactly. And my niece and nephews draw themselves, and my friends, our kids' friends, and then they see, oh my God, that was me a few years ago, and now I can draw this way, and this is how, so you can see the progression of kids' pictures because they can do as many as they want, and it doesn't matter. Um, so it's interesting to see their drawings coming on as well. That's really cool.
Oh, it just sounds absolutely fantastic. And I will, of course, share photographs of it for those people watching on the video because it just looks absolutely brilliant. And who doesn't love something to read or to look at when they go to the loo as well?
Yeah, it's a
And
bit
I
of
guess
fun.
something like that is forever changing. So you've always got something new to look at.
Yeah, that's the idea. It's kind of like I don't know, like a guest book, but an arty one, I suppose.
Yeah. Um, it just sounds fabulous. I really love it.
Thank you.
So tell me, where is your happy place then? Is there one place in the
Yeah.
world, or is it a kind of place?
Well, I'm a total sun worshipper. Absolutely love this, even though it does not like my skin. It makes me the color of the sofa, like a bright red. Um, I love the sun, and I love the sunset more than the sunrise. And we've got a corner in the kitchen where the sun hits just when it's, kind of, I don't know, a glass of wine before dinner time, and the sun hits a particular seat in the city in our kitchen. And I love doing a jigsaw there or reading a magazine there or whatever, and just catching that last bit of sun before the sun goes down. That's my happy place, definitely. I love that.
Wow. So have you got really big windows in
Yeah.
there that capture the light?
Yeah, we've got big kind of sliding doors in the kitchen. So that lots of sun comes in. And yeah, I love that. And then I can see what's going on, but I've still got, my own little my own little space in
Yeah.
the sun. And I don't get sunburnt. Which and yeah, I just that evening sun. I just love that's my favorite time, just sitting in the evening sun is my happy place. So being able to do that in my kitchen is lovely.
Oh, sounds beautiful. And I love a jigsaw. I've recently got into doing jigsaws again.
Yeah.
And you can absolutely lose hours doing it, can't you? It's another one of those really mindful activities where you just kind of tune fully into it and everything
Yeah.
else melts away.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think it's a really good thinking time. That's really when I do my thinking is doing the ironing or doing a jigsaw or that kind of thing. Really helps me think of ideas or think of what to do next or what to prioritize or whatever.
Mm, yeah, fab. Well, it sounds like you have a lot of love for the house that you're in, but if you could wave a wand, click a finger, and you were in your dream home, is there anything else that you would add to it? Would it be in a different place? Would the building be slightly different? Would there be special rooms in there that you don't have right now?
I think it would probably be very similar to what we have now. I think more rooms would be amazing. I'd love a wrapping room. I'd love a room full of paper and ribbon, and a nice comfy armchair in the sun. That would be that would be a dream room. At the moment, I'm working from the kitchen in the kitchen at the kitchen table. So I think if I was to change anything, it would just be that really. Um, I love where we are, living by the sea. So we're about 2 or 3 minutes walk from the beach, which is just amazing.
Mm,
And we're in a town, we're in Whitley Bay, but we're very near everything else, so we can be in the countryside in a few minutes, in half an hour easy, the airport, which is important for me, going to Dublin a lot. I think I just have to be by the sea would be and in an old house probably. I like old houses. Yeah, but I'm really happy here. Definitely, I wouldn't want to change it, apart from my own room.
yeah. But do you know what? That there's something really lovely about being so content with where you are.
Yeah,
And think is that not just where the happiness comes from? It's being
Yeah,
so
yeah, I
grateful and
agree.
content with what you've got.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
think
a
too.
wrapping room sounds fabulous.
Yeah, and I think a big house doesn't mean a happy house or a huge island in your kitchen or whatever. It doesn't mean a happy house. I just think fun and color and people makes the home. So yeah, I'm very happy. I'm very lucky and I love it.
More house means more cleaning also. That's what I equate it
And
with.
more stuff, more Lego.
Oh God. Yeah.
More stuff. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
More records.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my
Yeah.
stuff, of course.
Yeah.
Good.
So in this wrapping room then would you have like would you have those um I don't know how to describe it, but you know how you can hang the rolls of wrapping paper on
Yeah.
the wall and just pull it out. And I know you try as far as possible to reuse a lot of papers. You were saying with the Beano, I know you've used maps and
Mhm.
things like that. So would you have like lots of little nooks and crannies and ways of storing all of those?
I think actually I'd have everything behind closed doors. So when I go in, I can't see anything except for either gorgeous wallpaper or just a color. And then everything behind doors. I actually prefer that. I think I'd feel a bit overwhelmed if everything was out. Um,
Mm.
I like being able to just use what I need. And yeah, so I think probably, not that I've been planning this in my head for the last 18 years or anything, 40 years, but my own space would be, I think, um, quite minimalist actually, but everything behind closed doors. So you open a door and you get all the paper, and then close it again, and everything looks tidy. Yeah, it would have to be tidy, definitely. But I think if I had everything out, it would overwhelm me quite a lot. So I think,
Yeah, I guess it would be difficult to focus in
yeah,
an environment like that. And when it's a work environment and you need to, you know, focus on the one thing and get the thing done.
yeah,
Yeah, I totally understand.
yeah.
Um,
And by all
My
means, having everything out when I'm doing something, but I would tidy it up
mm,
at the end so the next day I walk into a tidy space.
yeah, I'm normally like that with my studio. I think I must have had a bit of um a rush to get out of the studio last week
Mhm.
because I walked in this morning just before I had someone coming over for a workshop and I thought, what the hell was I doing last time I was here? Because normally I'm very good, like I am big on being tidy, so everything goes back in its own place. But
Yeah. Uh-huh.
last week, Heather did not do that. But it's so much nicer when you walk into your workspace and it is all tidy and you can just focus on the job in hand rather
Yeah.
than, oh my God, I've got to do all this tidying up before I actually
Yeah, I
achieve
totally agree.
anything.
Yeah, I can't
Uh,
work with mess. No.
no, no, that I think that's my biggest distraction. And actually, the thing that um, I struggle with most working from home is that, harking back to the beginning of the conversation, if the kitchen's a mess, I can't work. So
Yeah.
I have to tidy that up first.
Yeah.
Even if it means hiding everything in the dishwasher,
Yeah.
I can cope then and I can
Yeah.
get on with
Yeah.
things.
Totally understand. Totally get it.
Okie dokie. Right. So we have gone through the big questions and it is time for the quick fire questions. Now, there's only 5 of these and
Okay.
you're only choosing between 2 things each time. Um, so are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. Um, so first one is classic or modern?
Oh, classic, definitely. There's not much modern. There's not much modern about me at all. Definitely classic. Yeah.
I think I know the answer to this one, but maximalist or minimalist?
Maximalist, definitely, but kind of in order.
Yeah,
Not not pattern, 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 crazy, crazy. Um, so I suppose a little bit of a combination of both, as in I don't have a White House, but it's not completely pattern overload either. There's definitely calm spaces.
a curated maximalist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 I like that.
Mhm. Country or city?
Um, that's really hard. I'd have to be
It
by the
is.
sea. If I was by the sea, I'd be happy. So I think that's why Newcastle is brilliant that we've got a city, but it's so near the countryside and the city and the sea. And Whitley Bay is a good kind of mixture of both. But if I could pick, I think I'd probably go for country in a huge, big Georgian house. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we are totally spoiled in the northeast because, especially if you live somewhere like Newcastle, we're so, like you say, so close to the coast. We're so close to being near cities, but also we've got so many parks, and Northumberland's right on our doorstep as well. So
Yeah.
we're totally spoiled. So we
Yeah.
don't actually have to make that decision.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. And
very
maybe a
good.
nice a country house in near Beadnell on the coast or somewhere on Northumberland coast, and then a little city pad would be perfect. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Sounds fabulous. Swimming pool or games room if we're going frivolous.
I'd want a wrapping room, but that isn't one of my options. So I think probably swimming pool. Yeah, that would be lovely. Swimming pool would be very nice. With a steam room, I go for a steam room.
Oh, yeah, well, absolutely. You can't have one without the other. So, it comes as a pair. And then last but not least, chef or cleaner.
Oh, cleaner. Totally. Cleaner and takeaways.
Perfect combination. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
totally with you. I would love a cleaner.
Yeah,
Um,
cleaning makes me so grumpy. I just no. Yeah. Definitely. I'm happy to do the ironing. Happy to do that. That's definitely my forte. Happy to tidy. Cleaning. No, no.
yeah, I will tidy and I will hoover, and I'm more than happy with all of that. Stack and unload the dishwasher. Great. Ask me to wash a pile of dishes. That just makes me sad.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Wow. It has been so lovely having you on. Is there anything you'd like to tell people about how they can come and find more out about you if they want to come
Yeah,
and
sure.
learn?
Of course. Well, I'm on Instagram would be my main kind of pretty picture place to go to. Um, at Forbes Finishings is the Instagram. And then I'm on LinkedIn too for Aoife Forbes, Aoife. That's why it's Forbes Finishings, not my name, because no one can spell it or say it over here. And they're the main two places. And I've got forbesfinishings.com as well, if you want to have a look at all the different services I have, all the different workshops. Christmas is coming. Speaking of cleaners, why do it yourself if you absolutely hate it? I'll come to
Oh,
your house and
quite.
do a news service on lunch. I think it could be a world first. I'm saying it is because I don't know if anyone else does it. But speed wrapping, where I'll come to your house and absolutely go through your presents and wrap them so fast. While your kids are in school, get them all wrapped and then back up in the attic by the time they get home. So I can do about 30, 35 presents in an hour. So, um, yeah.
That is phenomenal. And I love that you come to the house and do that as well. So you've not even got to be faffing on with filling the boot and
No.
delivering things. You just come and do it all.
Nope, I'll come to your house. Kids from school, you could be working at home. I'll wrap all the presents. And it's just another thing ticked off the list. I know friends who take a day off work or, who stay up on, for a week, stay up all night, late at night. I just think, well, I'll do it for you, really
Yeah.
fast, and give yourself a break. Go and see some friends. Do something for yourself rather than, staying up all hours wrapping presents. And we had this kind of lovely notion that it'll be Christmas Eve and Love Actually be
Yeah.
on television and having a glass of wine. It's gonna be so lovely wrapping presents. And then by the next like 2 or 3, you're just so tired and so annoyed at yourself for leaving at last minute again, kind of thing. So
Yeah,
trying
it
to
is definitely an activity that I always kind of romanticize.
yeah,
And like you
exactly.
say, you think, oh, we'll have the snacks out, we'll have
Yeah,
some music on, it'd be lovely. And by the time my husband and I have been doing it for an hour, we're both really grumpy, our backs hurt,
yeah.
because despite the fact that we always say we're going to do it at the table, we always end up doing it on the floor.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just, yeah,
So I'm
so
hoping I'm hoping to
absolutely.
fill that gap and have a service that gives people a break and a bit of bit of time to themselves. You and your husband could go for a dinner rather than that, or go for lunch, and I'd wrap the presents, and people are helping a small business and they're giving themselves a break.
Incredible. It sounds like a win-win to me.
And
Sounds
I
like a
love it.
win-win.
So, happy days, yeah.
So if anybody wants to know about your services, your workshops, all of those things, just come find you on Instagram. and presumably they can ping you a message if they've got a question.
Yep, of course, absolutely.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us about your absolutely beautiful home. And I think individuality has been the theme.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Oh,
I think that's
definitely.
something we can all take away and be inspired by.
You're very
Um,
welcome. Thank you for inviting
More than welcome. It's been fabulous.
me.
Thank you for listening. I'm sure you'll all agree that Aoife is absolutely fabulous. So you can head down to the show notes to find out more about her and get those Christmas gifts wrapped without any stress. And don't forget to check out my website for beautiful, vibrant coloured artworks that are great for gifting too. And I'll see you in the next episode.